Hello, my beautiful warrior souls, and a special welcome to the magnificent Aries spirits of the world. Welcome back to Astrology Unlocked, the sacred space where we decode the universe's whispers and unlock the incredible power held within your very being. My name is your guide, and if you are hearing these words right now, I want you to know it is no accident. Have you been feeling it, dear Aries? That sacred restlessness stirring deep within your bones. It's not anxiety and it's not impatience. It's something more profound. It's a feeling that the very walls of the life you have so brilliantly and bravely built are beginning to feel less like a fortress and more like a cage. Have you ever stood in the quiet of your own home and felt an invisible force, not watching you, but challenging you? A strange surge of energy in the stillness of the night, a fire in your spirit that makes you believe someone is knocking, not from the outside, but from the very center of your soul. Do not for 1 second dismiss this as mere imagination, my friend. This is a divine summons. This is the universe sending a celestial emissary to stir the embers of your heart into a blazing fire. And here is the most powerful part. This presence does not come to comfort you or to soothe you. It comes to ignite you. It comes to reveal the magnificent, untamed truth you have long tried to control. It comes to remind you of the warrior you were born to be. Walk with me now into this first chapter of your great awakening, where the familiar life you've known transforms into a sacred training ground, and every hidden part of your power begins, at last, to be unleashed. Close your eyes for just a moment, brave Aries, and feel that place you call your life, your home, your career, your relationships. It has never been just a collection of circumstances. It is a living testament to your fire, a mirror reflecting every battle you have fought, every victory you have claimed, and yes, every part of your brilliant flame you have learned to dim. Every corner, every echo, every silence contains a fragment of your warrior's heart, even the sacred wounds you refused to show the world. And I know you have sensed it before. In the midst of your routine, a sudden shiver of awareness runs up your spine as though an unseen gaze, the gaze of your own higher self, is piercing through the armor you so carefully wear, leaving no place to hide. I believe with every fiber of my being that nothing is a coincidence. The universe has placed these divine mirrors in your life, not to frighten you, but to give you the sacred opportunity to look directly at the magnificent power you hold. You may have grown accustomed to pushing forward, to strategizing, to deflecting the deeper callings from within. Yet, in an unexpected moment, the very structure of your life begins to speak, and it does not speak of anyone else's destiny. It speaks only of yours. If this message is already resonating with the fire in your soul, if you can feel the truth in these words stirring within you, do me a small favor and seal this connection. Gently press that like button. And if you have not yet joined our tribe of cosmic explorers, now is the perfect moment to hit that subscribe button and become a part of the Astrology Unlocked family, so you never miss these transmissions of empowerment. And I want to hear from you, beautiful warrior. Let me know in the comments below by declaring, I am ready to answer the call. There are nights, aren't there, Aries? Nights when the quiet becomes so loud you cannot sleep. You toss and turn, feeling the powerful beat of your own heart, hearing the unspoken call to action that thrums beneath the surface of your thoughts. My friend, this is not merely restlessness. This is the sign of your soul knocking, reminding you that your true, untamed power cannot be buried forever. The universe allows this sacred silence to appear, not to leave you feeling alone, but to help you realize that your most profound truth only reveals itself in the quiet moments between battles, never amidst the false noise of the mundane world. And perhaps you have walked through a familiar part of your life that suddenly feels alien. A ray of light falls upon a long-forgotten corner of your ambition, and you see it is not dust that has gathered there, but dreams, promises you whispered to yourself and then abandoned in the name of practicality. Your life does not just hold your achievements, it holds the invisible treaties you once made with your own spirit. That you would be the strong one to keep the peace, that you would endure to avoid letting someone down, that you would shrink your magnificent fire to fit into another's world. But I ask you now, warrior, what peace is true and what peace is false? Have you ever stopped to ask if the control you have clung to is truly strength, or is it a gilded cage dressed in responsibility? The cosmos never intended for you to lock yourself in that cage. It wants you to see with perfect clarity that the very walls you believed were your fortress are now limiting your expansion, making you a prisoner within your own soul's kingdom. Be honest with me, and more importantly, with yourself, dear Aries. How many times have you pretended not to hear that inner voice? How many times have you pushed through exhaustion when your soul was crying out for rest and realignment? That feeling is not an illusion. It is a divine signal. It is the universe whispering, the time for playing small is over. It is time for you to return to your throne. It is time to gaze deeply into the mirror of your destiny that reflects the untamed power you have long tried to civilize. You may feel a flicker of fear, because when that mirror shines clearly, you will see not only your brilliance, but also the cracks in your armor, the imperfect fragments of past battles. Yet I want you to understand this with all your heart. Those very cracks are proof that you have lived, that you have fought, that you have loved with the ferocity of 1,000 suns. And if today you feel weary, if your familiar life suddenly feels constricting, that is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that you are about to shatter a threshold and step into a new dimension of your own power. You no longer need to shrink your light to fit into the cramped spaces of ungrateful relationships or unfulfilling roles. You no longer need to force a ceasefire just to preserve a false harmony. For true power, true freedom, begins only when you dare to face the mirror, dare to name the fears, dare to embrace the parts of your soul you once deemed too much. And then, as you turn to face it, something miraculous happens. Those invisible treaties, those heavy walls of responsibility, begin to crumble. You hear a new sound, no longer the echo of past obligations, but the battle drum of your future. A higher presence is drawing near. It may appear as a person, a sudden opportunity, or a powerful dream, but you will know it. You will recognize it the instant it arrives, because in that moment, your soul will vibrate like a warrior's horn, sounding its perfect resonant note. Are you ready? For this presence will not come to coddle you, nor to shield you from the fight. It comes to illuminate your path, to remind you of the earth-shattering strength you have forgotten. It comes to help you strip away the armor you once thought necessary. It comes to knock on the very throne room of your soul, where you once locked your heart away for safekeeping. Remember this, valiant Aries, the universe does not send you a savior. It knows you are not in need of saving. It sends you a divine challenger, a sacred sparring partner, a living mirror, so that when you gaze upon it, you recognize that you yourself hold the sword to liberate your own spirit. And sometimes, in that very moment, all the old patterns, the silent promises to be the strong one, the false peace, the invisible chains of duty, reveal themselves for what they are. But what happens after they are revealed? Will you choose to keep wearing them out of habit? Or will you find the courage to shatter them? Will you dare to open the gates, to step out of the familiar fortress filled with shadows and march into a brighter world where you can be fully, unapologetically, magnificently yourself? The answer cannot come from me. It can only arise from you, from your warrior's soul, from the trust you place in the cosmos and in the fire that burns within you. And in that sacred instant, your journey shifts into a new phase, where every challenge becomes a message, every moment of stillness a strategy session, and every step you take leads you toward your coronation. Have you heard that knocking, Aries? Because the moment you truly recognize it, everything changes. The old patterns emerge, one by one, awaiting your choice, to keep them or to let them go and claim your crown. How many times have you endured, Aries, just to keep a relationship or a situation intact on the surface? How many times have you folded your frustration inward, whispering to yourself, "If I just push through, everything will be fine"? Yet in that disciplined silence, your soul slowly lost its own war cry. The invisible treaties, the pactos invisibles you signed with fear and duty, have become armor that is now too tight, wrapping around your heart, forcing you to shrink so others may feel larger, so the world outside would not have to face the true, glorious storm of your passion. I believe the divine architect of the cosmos never intended for you to live like this. You were not placed on this earth to imprison yourself in a cage of stoic endurance. You were made to be a wildfire, a force of nature, free and gloriously alive, not to be blocked by dams named false peace. True peace, for an Aries, is not the absence of conflict. It is the knowing that even within the storm, you are centered in your power, hearing the triumphant beat of your own heart. Perhaps you have been strategically silent for too long. Silent when you were underestimated. Silent when your heart cried out for adventure. Silent until you forgot that the universe gave you a voice not to be muted, but to be raised in a glorious roar. And that silence, instead of bringing peace, became the very wall that kept you from hearing your own divine guidance. A wall so high, built over the years, that at times you felt even your own fiery spirit could not break through it. Do you see it, my friend? Each time you shrink back, you betray a piece of your own warrior spirit. Each time yet you try to just be fine, you cover another layer of dust upon the brilliant light within you. But that light, that Aries fire, never disappears. It only waits. It waits for you to gather the courage to sweep the dust away, to shatter the chains of your own making. Do not fear what lies on the other side. Those chains were forged from mistaken compromises, and you have the divine right to unbind them. Do not mistake true love for blind sacrifice. The love that comes from the cosmos has never required you to vanish so that others may exist. It wants you to shine, to blaze so brightly that your love expands, so that you can lift others with your wholeness, not with the broken fragments of your self-suppression. Ask yourself this: how many silent promises have you kept just to avoid conflict? How many times have you swallowed your truth to preserve the surface of a quiet life, while inside a revolution was brewing? Those treaties are not blessings. They are barriers. And the time has come for you to name each chain, to look it in the eye so it knows you are no longer its prisoner. I want you to know one thing, magnificent Aries, you do not need permission to be your full self. The universe has chosen you, gifting you with a courageous heart and a soul that feels with incredible passion. Not for you to hide these gifts, but for you to share them, to lead with them, to bear witness to the truth that authenticity sets us all free. True peace is not a counterfeit silence. It is the moment you can breathe deeply, plant your feet, and declare, "This is me, I will hide my fire no longer." And when you dare to step out, to remove each invisible link of that old armor, you will see your world brighten. Not because the light has changed, but because your eyes are no longer veiled. You will hear the voice of the cosmos clearly, powerful and firm, whispering within your heart. You never had to shrink to be loved. You have been worthy of a kingdom from the moment you were created. Have you found the courage to try, just for once? For when this inner wall crumbles, a higher presence will enter your life like an unexpected, divine challenger. It does not come to occupy your space, but to remind you that the throne room of your soul is now ready for its true ruler. And that, my friend, is when the true transformation begins. There are moments in life when you sense that something is approaching. It's not a person you can name, nor an event you can touch. It's like an invisible wind, a sacred electricity in the air that leaves a feeling on your very skin that something divine is knocking at your door. The ancients called it a higher presence, a sign from the cosmos, a soul sent only to awaken yours. Perhaps it arrives through a dream so vivid you wake with your heart pounding with purpose. Perhaps through a stranger whose glance makes you remember a forgotten part of your own strength. And perhaps, dear Aries, that presence is your own shadow, the part of your untamed power you have refused to face for years. I believe the universe does not send you a savior because it knows you need no one to complete you. You have been whole since the day you were forged in celestial fire. It only sends a mirror. And sometimes that mirror takes the shape of a person. Sometimes a shattering experience. Sometimes a turning point that forces you to pause your relentless forward motion. This mirror does not make you stronger. It only reminds you that the strength was always there, sleeping like a dragon in the mountain of your heart. The question is whether you have the courage to look and to finally recognize it. Do not wait for someone else to grant you freedom. Do not hope for a hand to lift you from the darkness. The truth is, the universe has already placed the weapons to guard your soul within you long ago. Your intuition, your courage, your power to act, and the resilience you have proven in every fall and glorious rise. These weapons do not shine outwardly. They glow from within your heart. And when this higher presence steps in, its purpose is not to save you, but to activate you, to prompt you to draw that sword of truth from its dusty sheath and wield it as the instrument of your own coronation. Can you hear it? It is not the footsteps of another in the dark. It is not the sound of a door swinging open from the outside. It is the knock from within your soul, a pulsing, powerful knock urging you to answer. Are you ready? The time has come. Many mistake this higher presence as an outer sign, but in truth, it is only the reflection of what is awakening within. The universe awakens you not with noise, but with the deepest vibration of your own being. Aries, remember the last time you shivered for no reason, or the moment you felt a surge of passion for an idea without knowing why? That was not random. That was your soul preparing for a meeting with its own destiny. This higher presence does not come to comfort you, it comes to illuminate you. It may unsettle you, because when the light shines, the shadows of your self-doubt are revealed. But trust me, it is not here to hurt you. It is here to set you free. Perhaps in the days ahead, you will meet someone whose presence is unlike anyone before. They will not promise to stay forever, nor will they promise to fill any empty space in your heart. Yet, with just a glance, a few words, a shared challenge, they remind you that you were once a force of nature, once radiant, once whole. And when they depart, they leave within you a burning calling to live truly, to love fiercely, and to lead courageously. Do not cling, for they were not sent to stay, they were sent to awaken. And when that door to your inner world finally opens, you will see an entire journey awaiting you. There are chapters in your life that closed with fire, with hidden wounds, with long nights questioning why your passion was not met. But believe me, every betrayal and every pain was not the end. They were only old gates closing, so you could recognize the new gateway opening before you, a gateway that does not lead back to heavy memories, but forward to a tribe of kindred warrior souls and to opportunities arriving at the perfect time when you are finally ready to claim them. I have always believed that every departure, whether chosen or forced, is the universe's hand on your shoulder, whispering, "Go, warrior." For ahead lies a battlefield more worthy of your spirit. The cosmos does not take away to leave you empty. It only clears the path so you no longer carry burdens that were never yours to bear. The lesson here is simple yet profound. You do not need to carry bitterness or resentment. These are only heavy stones in your pack, weighing down your march. The universe does not want you entering the new kingdom with hands full of rubble. It wants you to step in with your hands open, ready to receive new blessings and wield new power. All it takes is declaring one affirmation, a small promise to your soul, and the old chains will fall away. And then you will feel as if you are reborn, powerful and free. Aries, are you ready to cross this threshold, where the past no longer has a hold, and only you remain, guided by the fire of your own spirit? Imagine you stand before that gateway, divine light slipping through the crack, shining upon your face. A voice, your own higher voice, whispers, "You do not need to wait any longer. March forward." Your heart beats faster, a little nervous, but deep within you, there is a thrill of excitement you have never known, because your soul knows. This time, you are going exactly where you belong. Write it down now, an affirmation for yourself. Write it as a ritual, as a vow before the cosmos and your own soul. Let these words be a decree you release into the world, and also a gift you give to yourself. Right below this video, in the comments, declare your soul's new treaty. I release the past. I choose my power. I claim my worthy destiny. Let it be a war cry of freedom released into the world. And then, when that gate swings open, you will see that on the other side is not a familiar road, but a new adventure, a higher frequency where everything aligns with your warrior's heart. There, you will meet people with whom you never need to hide your fire. They will look at you and say, "I see your strength. I honor your flame." There, you will find opportunities and relationships arriving as if they had been written in the book of your destiny. Trust me, Aries, this is only the beginning. Every pain you have endured was merely your training, making you strong enough to cross this gateway. And once you step through, you will no longer be who you were. You will be the purified version, the one who chose light over shadow, truth over falsehood, courage over comfort. And that is only the beginning of your magnificent reign. This journey has carried you from the hidden wounds within your armor, through the invisible treaties, all the way to this moment where you have shattered the old gates. And now, as we stand together at this powerful conclusion, I want you to take a deep breath and feel this truth. You did not just survive the breaking, you grew from it. You have emerged with a stronger heart, a brighter soul, and the unshakable faith that the universe has always been your ally, never leaving your side. You are worthy of a great love, not because you endured for it, but because you are a great love. You are worthy of a tribe of pure-hearted warriors, of a kingdom of peace where you do not need to pretend, where your brilliant light is not just welcomed, but required. And the most beautiful thing is this: you have already begun to build it, within the very choice to love and honor your true self. I thank you for staying until the very end of this transmission, for opening your warrior's heart to listen and let the light touch you. Your presence here has made this moment sacred. I pray for you, magnificent Aries. May the universe bless you with courage, with victory, and with prosperity, so you may always walk the path most worthy of your soul, blazing a trail for all to follow.